Welcome to the 7th Annual Secular Humanist Society of New York Day of Reason Brunch. And a special welcome to the new guys. I'm John Rafferty. I'm the president of the Secular Humanist Society of New York, as the Catholics say, for my sins. I welcome you all. So, why do we have a Day of Reason? We have a Day of Reason because we have a National Day of Prayer. And because that National Day of Prayer has been hijacked by the religious right in this country. It was originally supposed to be a harmless, if constitutionally questionable, non-denominational celebration of faith for the religious of all creeds, as had been dozens of other days of prayer or fasting and or Thanksgiving throughout the history of the nation. As a matter of fact, well, first in the colonies, the different governors were doing it all the time. And during the Revolution, at the beginning of the Revolution in 1775, the Continental Congress designated a time for prayer in forming a new nation. And in 1779, Washington himself, who of course was not yet the President of the United States, because there was no United States, but nevertheless, he decreed a day of prayer and Thanksgiving to celebrate the victorious end of the late unpleasantness with Britain. And every president since then, except two. One you can guess right away. Jefferson. Also, Andrew Jackson. Every other president, except those two, has at least put out a day of prayer or fasting and or Thanksgiving proclamation. Yes, including the current resident of the White House. And some of those presidents have even held day of prayer celebrations or events, not including the current resident. So, National Day of Prayer came and went willy-nilly, not organized, until 1952, when we were in the middle of another unpleasantness called the Korean War. And the most popular man in America at the time, the Reverend Billy Graham, our first televangelist, came up with the idea of the whole nation getting down on their knees to pray for help and guidance in this, what did he call it, at this hour of peril. So taking their cue from Graham, an overwhelmingly conservative Congress passed a joint resolution calling for an annual National Day of Prayer on which, quote, on which the people of the United States may turn to God in prayer and meditation at churches, in groups, and as individuals. So Harry Truman was politically boxed in. He signed the bill proclaiming that every president after him must proclaim a day of prayer at a appropriate date of his own choice. In 1982, a National Prayer Committee was formed to sort of organize it. And in '88, Ronnie Reagan amended the law, decreeing that the National Day of Prayer should be held on the first Thursday of May. And the intention stated at the time was that it would be a day when members of all faiths could pray together, each in their own way. Yeah, right. So why should we care? Because that National Prayer Committee created a non-governmental organization called the National Day of Prayer Task Force, run by Shirley Dobson, the wife of James Dobson, the founder of Focus on the Family. Those wonderful people. And the task force website actually says, Americans of all faith are encouraged to participate according to their own traditions. However, the task force provides promotional materials and sponsors several events in keeping with the Judeo-Christian tradition. Several Jewish organizations report that they were rebuffed when they tried to participate. So much for Judeo. And in 2004, Mrs. Dobson barred Mormons. Not allowed. they could not conduct services. And in 2005, she repulsed the Hindu American Foundation until they were sued by the Freedom from Religion Foundation in 2008. Their website actually had that you swear that you believed in the absolute inerrancy of the Bible, and required volunteers, quote, commit that National Day of Prayer activities I serve with will be conducted solely by Christians. So, have we challenged this? Yes, the Freedom from Religion Foundation, as I mentioned, did. They sued. In 2010, won a judgment by U.S. District Judge Barbara Crabb, who ruled that the statute establishing the National Day of Prayer was unconstitutional, as it is, quote, an inherently religious exercise that serves no secular function. And in April 2011, a three-judge panel of the Seventh Circuit Court of Appeal overturned it, saying their reasoning was no one is harmed by the Day of Prayer. And besides, Abraham Lincoln's second inaugural address referenced God 7 times and prayer 3 times. What the hell that has to do with law, I have no idea, but that's what they said. So, that's where it stands. We can't get rid of it in the courts. But there are things we can do. And Roy Speckhart, the executive director, sent out this memo. And what he's asking us to do is every one of us writing to our congressional representative, asking him or her to support and to even co-sponsor a National Day of Reason. Now, how do you do that? I promise you, you can do this in 2 minutes at home. Or you can do it now if you're packing electronic gear. At the bottom of the second page, I have added the website address that when Roy Speckhart says on the first page, click here, well, you can't click here, this is a piece of paper. But you can paste that address, http American Humanist org action public action ? Blah blah blah. You can paste that into your browser. You will go, and what'll happen is you will find yourself on a page that says essentially the same thing, and then it says submit your zip. All you got to do is type in your zip code. Mine was 10022. Okay? And it'll automatically open up into another page where all you have to do is enter your name, address, and email address, hit submit, and the letter is already printed for you. I promise you, 2 minutes. Do it today. Don't wait till Thursday. Do it today. Please. I have done it. We're going to do this. It's the one thing that we can do right now.